What's up, bitches? Ghostface here, and today we're continuing Sherlock Holmes vs. Jack the Ripper. Oh yes, we entered this police station.
This must be the door that leads to the cells.
Okay. Open it, idiot. Oh, nice. Turns out I'm quite a lockpicker. Thank you very much. So, what do we have here? Oh, I didn't even see you.
And who are you?
I've come to talk to you about Tumblety.
So you're here to kill me, are you?
Absolutely not. I've come on behalf of someone you know who told me you have some explosive news about this American. In exchange, he has settled your bill on the kayaks.
You ain't no street person, you. You're a bobby, trying to wind me up, aren't you?
Not at all. Will you agree to talk?
Not a chance. I'll give nothing away for nothing. I don't have to follow Bluto's orders. I'm in it up to my neck. And the bobbies won't agree to keep me locked up here for the rest of my life.
You mean to say that you are here of your own accord?
Damn right. Only death awaits me out there. I was almost lynched because I was blamed for the murder of those poor girls who were chopped up like animals. The police put me here for my own safety. That's where this journalist showed up.
A journalist?
A journalist?
I socked him once for disrespecting me down at the pub. He said I'd pay for it one day. And that day came. He said he was going to squeal to the papers about me. With my description and my tattoos and all, I was arrested at the same time the police said they'd caught the Whitechapel killer. While waiting to write the article, he started the rumour. Now the streets ain't safe for me no more.
I understand. Listen, if I find this journalist and make him promise to not write a word about you, and if I also agree to pay for you to get out of London, will you tell me everything you know about Tumblety?
You sure know how to speak to ruffians, don't you? You got yourself a deal.
What's the name of this journalist?
Bulling. Tom Bulling.
Tom Bulling? That name sounds familiar. That wouldn't be the journalist that Watson met at the Wasp's Nest.
Huh?
Ah, no, nothing. I was just thinking aloud.
Goodbye.
Well, I'll be going, Squibby.
You're right. It ain't healthy here.
I shall leave Bluto's treasure at the station. The police will know what to do with it.
Treasure, treasure.
I shall leave Bluto's treasure at the station. The police will know what to do with it.
Hey, but what are you up to here, you? Off with you, and make it quick before I take you in.
Let's go to the Wasp's Nest.
Let's go, indeed, sir.
Let's go to the Wasp's Nest. No, if
What?
Bluto sees me, it could prove to be quite dangerous. Let's return to Baker Street to change.
He just changes his clothes. How fucked up is that?
Evening. A pint for me and have one for yourself. I'm looking for a journalist, a good client of yours. Goes by the name of Bulling. Ring any bells?
Haven't seen him for a day or two. He must be sleeping it off somewhere. Where to hide from the landlord when you owe some serious bread?
What paper does he work for?
I don't know, but I can't believe that he works at his rag, because he's always round the pub scribbling his useless papers. The last time I seen him, he spent a whole day at that table drinking and scratching away from morning till night. He finished by celebrating, and without the help of a rich chap, he would have fleeced me of a guinea.
Thank you, my friend.
That's nothing.
No, if Bluto sees me, it could prove to be quite dangerous. Some paper, ink stains. This must be the table where Bulling writes his copy.
Interesting.
Good evening. There'll be a nice tip in it for you if you can tell me if you recently saw a journalist here.
Yes, sir. A damn nuisance, that man. And a real cad. He cursed me out something fierce for staining a book that he put down, even though it was him who was shaking so much that he soiled it with a whole lot of ale.
He was reading a book?
Well, not a real book. A halfpenny rag. He put it down on the ground, and I put it in the paper bin for the stove. It should still be there if it weren't already put in the fire.
Goodbye, miss.
At your service, me lord.
Spring Hill Jack. Oh, that's what I was saying.
Spring-Heeled Jack, a fantastical character that terrorizes the population of London. This journalist has some far from cheerful reading.
I read that story.
Yes, sir.
What'll it be?
Okay, maybe I should...
No, if Bluto sees me, it could prove... Some paper, ink stains. This...
Shut the fuck up. Okay, give me a map. Map.
Up at last, Holmes. Were you able to get anything from that crook at the Wasp's Nest yesterday?
Not yet, but I am working on it. And yourself, Watson, what were you able to find out from your colleague about the sale of second-hand female parts?
Holmes? Well, actually...
Let it be, Watson. It was tiring, no doubt.
Well, as soon as I mentioned the possible existence of a black market dealing in human parts, everyone in the hospital became very tense. This silence, therefore, tells us more than anything else at this point.
However, I have trouble believing that such a peculiar dealing as that involving Annie Chapman's uterus could have gone unnoticed in the medical community, if that is indeed what happened.
That's my opinion, as well as that of my old university colleague. He maintains that any form of organ trafficking would be impossible, not to mention unnecessary. However, he did tell me something rather troubling. The unexplained disappearance of several corpses from the hospital morgue. He has allowed me to investigate, provided I do so discreetly, and here is what I found, concealed in what appeared to be a secret letterbox.
Interesting, an encoded message.
Indeed, and look, the symbol of a certain well-known Spartaca encyclopedia is printed on it. Perhaps it will help in deciphering the letter.
Thank you, Watson. Are you going out again?
I promised a new patient, Captain Stenick, I'd go round to examine him. He lives nearby. I may be back before you've had a chance to decipher this mysterious message.
Okay, deciphering again.
Good. Let's decipher the encoded words in the message that Watson found at the London hospital.
How very, very interesting is this? You gotta be...
The index of the Spartaca encyclopedias seems to have a connection with this letter.
Oh, I see now. Okay, Okay, it's easy. Let's go from the beginning. This should be... T. Oh. Okay, this is 4. 3C. Okay, this is XX. It's H. At least it should be. Wait. And okay, this is XV. This is X13. Command Nech. This is suspicious. V. Command 19B. No, 19S. 21 U. X. Command subject. Okay, 7G. 4 is D. Oh, this is I. No. Command. Oh, this is I. You gotta be. XX. This is 12. No, this is 22. V. This is X. V. No, X. Yes, XV. XXV. Delivery. I think this is delivery. Okay, this this is H. What? XX 23. Oh, new command subject. Woman, delivery, war. This is
Elementary.
oh yes, elementary. New command subject. Woman, delivery, Wharfdale 17. I am a fucking detective.
My dear Watson, I congratulate you on your investigation. This letter seems to well and truly confirm the organized trafficking of bodies in London.
My God, how dreadful.
Watson, we must go to the address that appears in this message. I would suggest you take your weapon.
It hasn't left my side since the beginning of this whole affair, Holmes.
I'll also be putting on my workman's disguise again. One never knows.
But what about me, Holmes?
Stay as you are, Watson. At worst, you can pass as my employer. Find Wharfdale Road on the map of London, Watson.
Understood, Holmes.
Easy. It's this.
Yes, I have, Holmes.
Here we are, Watson. 17 Wharfdale Road. Let's be careful.
You think so, Holmes? This house seems to be abandoned.
It's It's creepy, there might be ghosts.
This rope seems strong. It is sure to come in handy.
Okay, let's cut him. Oh, we have more.
This trolley seems to be in good condition, apart from the broken wheel, of course. This trolley seems to be in good condition. This trolley seems to be in good...
Well, fuck you a lot. Fuck you very a lot.
This stone was blocking
Oh.
the wheel. This trolley seems to be in
Oh,
good
fuck you.
condition. No, I can't do that.
Thunders.
A tarred cover. No, I can't take it like that.
Okay, you must do...
There, this piece of tarpaulin is very thin, but solid enough for our purposes.
But what the devil are you doing, Holmes?
I am asking myself the same question. Maybe he really wants to repair this.
This trolley seems to be in good condition. No, I can't do that.
Okay, we will left it for now like that.
This wheel is in good shape, but it is impossible to remove it. The pin holding it is stuck. This wheel is in good
Okay,
shape.
fuck you.
Given the layer of dust accumulated in the square, this door must rarely open.
Whoa! How crazy he is.
Numerous footsteps. Apparently this passage is used frequently. This door was recently reinforced. Impossible to open it.
Okay, I guess we will enter. Who is this?
Nothing of interest
He
here.
is peeing on the wall. What an animal. Let's enter this house.
Closed. This lock is solid, but very old. I should be able to force it.
Okay, force
This
it, you
lock is
pussy.
solid, but very old.
What shall we do, Holmes?
Maybe with this.
There, by sliding this piece of tarred tarpaulin, I was able to quite simply force the lock. Let's go in.
Incredible.
These little metal instruments are rather curious. I'll take one.
Only one.
Some makeup applicators. These jars contain chemical products. I have no idea what they are for.
Oh,
A trapdoor.
what a magic.
We must find a way to get down through it, Watson.
Incredible.
Closed.
Okay, let's see. What is up here first? Okay, I already think it's nothing.
This door was recently reinforced. Impossible
I
to
knew
open
it. I fucking knew it.
This door was recently reinforced. Impossible to open it.
Okay, now I need that rope.
I need something. Excellent. Now, on to the next step. I will go down alone, Watson. Try to cover for me if someone should happen along.
Understood, Holmes.
Jewelry.
Rings, wedding rings, gold teeth. I daren't imagine where they came from. Pincers. A hammer. I'll take it. This old box must have held nails a long time ago. Nothing of interest. This may come in handy. This may come in handy.
Okay, so do I have to...
Rings, wedding rings. This may come in handy.
Ah. Wait, something was up here. Or not.
Clothing that appears to be destined to be incinerated. A pointed poker. This is sure to come in handy.
Okay, well, how can he carry all of that?
Closed. A coffin, recently made and already broken. No, I can't do that. It is a stretcher that can be dismantled into 2 pieces. I have to find a way to take it upstairs, I think. I'll be needing it. No, I can't do that.
You're kidding.
I need something.
You need something. Maybe this.
I need
You
something.
need something again.
I need something.
Come on, do not fuck with me, man.
I need something.
What?
I need something. This may come in handy.
Okay, now.
This may come in handy. I need something.
Okay, he obviously needs something.
Numerous footsteps. Apparently this passage is used frequently. No, I can't do that. Here's an electrical mechanism. Turning the handle should supply it with energy. Ah, it would seem that there is a broken connection.
Where is the broken connection? How can you see it and I don't? You will pay for this.
Excellent. Now, on to the next step. This box is broken. The wires must be reconnected. Pray, think.
Okay, where are they? Oh, I think I get it now. It has to go like this. God damn it, I'm a fucking genius. Oh, that was just the first one. Fuck. God damn you. I know. Fuck you, man. What? How about this now? Damn you.
entry.
Fucking genius, man.
That's good, Holmes. I don't know why you brought this thing back up, but I can take it.
Perfect, Watson. The fuse box is burned. The lift is blocked. I'll have to find another way out.
Wait a minute. I see a key here. Take it.
This bent key just needs a little repair job to make it usable. No, I can't do that.
Okay, let's see.
Closed.
Oh, it's key from this door.
Let's hope that it really is the key to this door.
And so, Holmes?
Oh,
Let's hurry, Holmes. This neighborhood makes me ill at ease.
so where should we go?
I have no reason to go that way. I have.
Oh,
I
wait, I know. I think I know.
This wheel is in good shape, but it is impossible to remove it. The pin holding it is stuck. This trolley seems to be in good condition. This trolley seems to be in good condition, apart from... This trolley seems to be in good condition.
I have a feeling.
This trolley seems to be in good
Okay, I was
condition.
fucking wrong.
No, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. No, I can't do that.
Then what can you do?
What are we doing, Holmes?
Oh, I know. Yes.
Closed.
Wooden stretcher.
This wheel is in good shape, but it is impossible to remove it. The pin holding it is
I
stuck.
don't know.
This trolley seems to be in good No, I can't do
Okay,
that.
so what should I do with this then? I am pretty confused.
Closed.
Stretcher.
Closed.
Maybe I should block the door with something.
Closed. Closed.
Closed. Wheel stretcher, wheel stretcher.
What do you think, Holmes? What shall we do, Holmes? And so, Holmes?
God damn it.
This trolley seems to be in good condition. No, I can't do that.
I think I will leave this place.
I have. I have. I have. I. 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 I.
So obviously there is something here. Wooden stretcher. Oh.
This wheel is in good shape, but it is
Okay, not here, so maybe here.
This trolley seems to be in good condition, apart... No, I can't do
Okay,
that.
what the...
Look, if we lift a board from this window, we should be able to pass through. But first we have to get ourselves up there.
You are joking, Holmes?
Look, if we lift a...
You are joking, Holmes?
Okay, so I need these ladders probably for...
Look, if we lift a board from...
You are joking, Holmes?
This trolley seems to be in good condition. No, I can't do that.
So I do have to move this. Okay, let's see what else am I missing here.
Closed. This door was recently reinforced. Impossible to open it. This door was recently reinforced. Impossible to open it. This door was recently reinforced. Impossible to open it.
Wheel, I need wheel from this to put it on that.
This little instrument will serve perfectly as a pin punch.
But what the devil are you doing, Holmes?
Okay, how come I didn't... I cannot believe this.
Elementary.
But what the devil are you doing, Holmes?
Will you shut the fuck up?
No, I can't do that. This stone was blocking the wheel. Excellent. Now, on to the next step. Look, if we lift a...
You are joking, Holmes?
I hope this ladder will support my weight.
Let's go.
I need something.
You need something.
Let's go.
My God, Holmes. Where are we?
For us to find out, my friend. This woman is dead, Watson.
Yes, several days ago, Holmes, but the body is perfectly preserved. No odor, no visible decomposition.
Look, Holmes, a label from the London hospital. It must be a corpse stolen from the London hospital.
It's a puzzle box. Let's see if I can open it.
How do I play it? Oh, I think I know. I think numbers should give like this. Yes. Numbers should give the... Okay, 0. How can I get 0? Or is it 10? Wait. Three minus 2. 7. Okay, that was weird. 8 should be this. 3. Okay, what is 0? Is it 10? I don't get it really. If it's 10, then it should be... Eight. Four, 9, 6. How?
There we are.
Damn,
Magnificent.
I'm too smart.
This square object is very unusual.
A letter. Here is the information that boss was able to find out. Blah blah.
This letter speaks of a sign of recognition. Interesting. Glass eyes in all shapes and all colors.
A leaflet.
Amusing. This old photo shows a young man dressed after the fashion of an employee in front of a shop. The man in the photo taken in 1883 and the one on Prince Raskolnikov's leaflet are one and the same, and no more a prince or a Russian than you or I, Watson. Some makeup applicators. Someone made up this corpse. The lips have been colored and the rings around the eyes carefully camouflaged. Yes, somebody wanted to give the impression of life.
To what end?
Maybe her husband.
Strange smell. What do you think, Watson?
A zinc chloride solution without a doubt. A product generally injected into cadavers to help preserve them.
Look at this photo. It is inscribed Ethel Broomstreet, 1851 to 1878. This young woman who died 10 years ago looks like the one stretched out on this table.
10 years ago.
These clothes are new, just like the deceased's dress. I imagine her clothes were changed. Watson, this corpse was embalmed and made up and dressed to look like a woman who had died 10 years earlier. All is clear, Watson. A charlatan passing himself for the prince, making the dead come back by using corpses as puppets.
Which explains the disappearance of corpses at the London hospital. It was to fuel this sordid entertainment. Let's hurry, Holmes. This neighbor...
Shut up. Oh?
This cheap jewel must be an accessory of some sort. This door was recently reinforced.
Okay, let's see, what do we have here now? Square and triangle.
Holmes, I hear a cab stopping in the courtyard. Someone's coming.
It is probably the dealers, Watson, but instead of running, what if we were to meet them, if we managed to win their trust?
You are joking, Holmes?
I'm missing some information.
You are joking, Holmes. What information are you missing? We examined everything.
This door was recently reinforced.
Oh, wait.
This may come in handy.
Oh, I get it. He will present himself as this guy. Stop staring at me, fucking freak.
Oi, what you doing there, you? It's private in here.
Calm down. We aren't here as tourists. We have come to collect our packets.
Oh, well then, you just had to say. I was told that you weren't no tramps, but I weren't expecting that you was... Given your get-up, I guess your boss.
Yes. Yes.
Well, the subject ain't ready yet. I ain't done with it yet. You'll have to come back.
Well, that's, a real problem.
Say, we have personal orders too, for some organs. You wouldn't know where we can find them.
What type then?
Kidney, uterus.
Oi, I don't hack up my dollies. That's the work of an artist.
But you wouldn't happen to have a colleague who might furnish this type of item.
No, you can't make a copper doing that nowadays. Since the bigwigs made it easy to get stiffs, the medical schools are bursting with bodies to carve up. Docs and students have got all they need. Business is dead. For a few coppers, hospital bloke might help you out, but I don't know for sure. They'd be right in for it if they got caught. It probably just ain't worth it.
I understand. And what do you do with the corpses once you're finished with them?
I don't bother myself with that. For one thing's for sure, after the seance they're good for nothing but chucking out. I ain't Napoleon's embalmer.
Well, if you'll excuse...
He's got a funny way of talking, you.
Oi, it's normal. He's a brain, you see. A thinker at that. Seize you round, old man.
So, Holmes, the corpses that have disappeared from the London hospital are used during seances. Nothing to do with organ trafficking.
Yes, it all suggests nothing of the kind is underway in London. In the medical world, all dealings would be visible, not to mention unnecessary. The crook we met confirmed this viewpoint. It's hard to imagine, therefore, that our Whitechapel killer perpetrated these massacres with the goal of selling the organs.
What lead should we follow now, Holmes?
Try to learn more about Tumblety. This squibby should give us some information, but first I must stop the journalist Tom Bulling from harming him. I hope my secret police will soon have some information on him. While we wait, Watson, I would ask you to inform your colleagues of your recent discoveries. It would be good if these morbid, ghostly spectacles stopped, and this will need to be done at the London hospital.
You are right, Holmes.
Okay, so it doesn't have anything to do with Jack the Ripper.
Another false lead followed by the police, Holmes? Yesterday's Times says that a John Fitzgerald, who had claimed responsibility for the murder of Annie Chapman, has finally been released. He was, it says, lying.
That's of little importance, Watson.
It's incredible. It's been more than 3 weeks since the murderer struck, and the tension is as strong as ever. The press won't stop talking about him, and people are still full of fear. Perhaps the killer got what he wanted, people talking about him, and has chosen to stop committing crimes. What do you think, Holmes?
I doubt it, Watson. Everything leads me to believe that he is in hiding and waiting for the right moment. The area is packed with police, and that would obviously hamper his work.
You think he will start again, Holmes?
I have every reason to believe nothing will stop him short of his arrest or his death. Sadly, our investigation has reached a dead end, and I fear that we'll need another victim to get back on track.
Yes, how awful. And what of the case of the burnt mat? Have you resolved that?
Oh, that's a matter of little interest, and resolving will be of no benefit, above all to Miss Fleming. Ha! I hear the footsteps of my faithful Wiggins on the stairs. The game is afoot again, Watson.
Mr. Holmes, the scribbler resurfaced. At last word, Pounce saw him racing to Central News Agency where he works.
Excellent, Wiggins. And still nothing on the doctor?
Sorry, Mr. Holmes. He's one sleek yank, but we'll find him.
Good work. Here's something for you. I must leave you, Watson. If I can get my hands on this bulling, I will have much more interesting news on the bothersome Tumblety. I have only to change. If you can, Watson, I entreat you to stay here and await my word. We may not be more than two when the time to act comes.
You can count on me, Holmes.
So what did he say?
I have no...
You're kidding. Oh, here.
I must go to the Central News Agency. I'm at the press agency where bulling works. A mirror.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
I would imagine these are compartments to organize the paper's incoming dispatches. The fire has almost gone out, but the stove is still burning hot.
You're kidding, I didn't see men here.
What do you want?
It would be very informative to search Bulling's desk before meeting him, but first I must get rid of this bothersome person, perhaps by offering him a scoop.
Okay, let's see, what can I offer him?
Good evening, I'm looking for Tom Bulling, the journalist.
He isn't here. He must be sleeping off somewhere. He gave me a tip. He wanted to save a scope for me. He always gets a good dirt, and yet when he comes in here, it's just to warm his behind. Look, he pulled his desk over the stove.
Listen, Scoop, I'm bringing it over. Only if Bulling isn't here, I'm leaving.
Wait, what's this scoop?
Bulling promised me a reward for info. There's a charlatan who does spiritualist seances that are a little bit special. He steals corpses from the morgue, puts makeup on them, dresses them up, and then uses them as puppets.
I'll give you your dues. We'll pay you if this info is true.
I'll write down the address of the hideout on the crook's leaflet, but the police will be in on this one, so you better get there in time.
Understood. I'll go alone. Too bad for Bulling.
Hey, you wouldn't have a little something in advance?
Look on Bulling's desk. I know that he always leaves a few coins around for his snitches. Cheers.
Watson won't be pleased that I'm divulging the case, but I don't see any other way.
So this is his table.
Bulling's boss, Mr. Moore, seems to be protecting the journalist.
Whoa.
This is Bulling's desk, the one closest to the stove. Some coins. I will take them. That will avoid suspicion if the journalist returns. This may come in handy. A charred match. These are Bulling's notes. They are of little interest at the moment, but one never knows. The fire has almost gone out, but the stove is still burning hot. Bulling recently used the stove. A torn piece of blotting paper. Curious, curious. It looks like someone wanted to destroy this piece of blotting paper that had red ink on it. I can make out a few more letters, but backwards. I need something to help me.
Mirror.
Even handwriting, yet fairly recognizable. Telephone, a device that enables you to talk with anyone in London, provided the receiver has a telephone too.
No shit. Okay, mirror.
By putting this piece of blotting paper in front of the mirror, I can read what is written. Apparently, our journalist gets his information by telephone too. Sadly, the name is almost erased. If I telephone one of Bulling's contacts pretending to be his assistant, I might learn something of interest. This page has some light ink stains. It contains a list of telephone numbers.
Okay, let's start. Okay, I will call this man. But I think this is a year, but never mind.
Walesby 1875, an ingenious way to save his contact. Central, Walesby 1875, if you will. Thank you, I will wait.
Walesby, I am listening.
Hello, my dear man. I'm calling on behalf of Tom Bulling.
Bulling? So you know where this hypocrite, this liar, this...
Not at all. He is currently unobtainable. In the meantime, he has left me with a note asking me to pursue his work, and he told me that you were aware.
That's just great. I dropped everything off at his agency, but he didn't even bother to do the same for me. Tell me he at least gave you the information that I was asking in return.
I am ready, sir. I'm listening.
Do the police have a suspect for the bizarre theft of cigarettes and carrots that took place at the commercial street market?
Well, fuck me.
I think, according to Bulling, that Inspector
Nice.
Lestrade's team is looking for a rabbit with a bad cough.
Ah, damned Bulling. One day he'll be in some serious trouble for mocking the police. And now, can you tell me, with regards to the parliamentary scandal, what did the head of the Whig Party respond to the Tories who were treating him as a great incompetent?
Towards he will surely be in secrecy. No, he goes around in circles. No, wait. Makes a lot of noise. In secrecy. Fuck. He is never tired and your best representative. No, wait. Maybe.
According to Bulling,
I knew it.
Weeks said, "Vote for me. I will be your best representative."
Good. That'll make for a good paper. There is one last question. According to a government social study, civil servants make the best husbands. Why?
A civil servant. No, he's never tired. Fuck. Yes.
I believe I can confirm that it is because civil servants aren't tired and have already read the paper when they come home from work.
Very true. Good. It seems like Bulling has finally done his work.
As everything is all in order, can you now tell me where the information is that you sent to the agency?
Yes. There is a large brown envelope near the dispatch cabinet. It's in there that we exchange our tips with Bulling.
1,000 thanks. Goodbye, sir.
My salutations to Bulling.
I need more information.
You're kidding me.
There are several documents in this file. Let's see. I wonder why Bulling is studying this tale about Spring Hill Jack so meticulously.
Nice. The London Ripper.
What does that mean? Well, a piece of information about the murders transmitted exclusively to the police without informing the press. That has piqued my curiosity. Perhaps I should go to the police station to get more information. What does that mean? I've inspected everything, but there's no sign of Bulling. He must have dashed off to his HQ, the Wasp's Nest. However, before I go to see him, I should find out about this mysterious information. It could help me get something out of the journalist. To the police station, then. Let's go to the police station.
Okay, let's go.
Come. Back again, are we? Come this way, good man. The inspector has a few questions to ask you. Here is the man, Inspector.
Congratulations, Humphreys. So, my lad, one would say that you owe us a bit of an explanation for having left something with us. What is your full name and profession?
Sherlock Holmes, consulting detective.
Well, how about that?
Mr. Holmes, can you explain this get-up, your presence in the neighbourhood despite my instructions, as well as this most opportune restitution of jewels?
Firstly, I should tell you that not being under your command, I never understood what you said as an order, but rather as advice. I thought I would be wise to follow them to a certain extent. I intended to explain the stolen goods sooner or later. My presence here will allow me to fill you in on a few conclusions that...
If it is in regard to the Whitechapel murders, it won't help us much. We have no doubt that we will be revealing the identity of the murderer to the people in the area in a day or two.
I'm impressed, Inspector, and I offer you my sincerest congratulations. Nonetheless, you should investigate a certain doctor.
Listen, Holmes, let us do our work. You've rid us of a great pain in the rear end by finding those jewels for us. It's weeks of work that you've saved us. But I think you're a little underqualified for a case like that of Jack the Ripper. Until it's over, I demand that you do not set foot in the area. Is that clear?
I take note of your advice, Inspector. You mentioned Jack the Ripper. Pardon me, but you know the name of the murderer?
Oh, it's from a letter that the Central News Agency sent our way. It was written by the killer. And even if it can't be proven, it must be recognized that the signature is striking. This information is confidential, and I would ask you to keep it to yourself, Holmes.
Can I
It's
have a
like in
little
previous game.
mere curiosity, Inspector. Then I shall disappear.
In that case, I don't see any objection.
Thank you so
And the
much.
previous Jack the Ripper game. Sheriff Fenton, I keep hearing the police have caught, but they won't fix me just yet. I have finished when the local blah blah blah. Horse. One good enough to point this before I got red ink off my hands, cause it's no luck yet. I'm a doctor now. Haha. Red ink, this is suspicious.
Me? Not up to discovering who Jack the Ripper is? Well, we'll soon find out, won't we, Inspector Aberline? I know who wrote the Dear Boss letter signed Jack the Ripper that Inspector Aberline gave me, and above all, I now know why. This Tom Bulling was inspired by this fantastical character to build a myth out of the Whitechapel Killer. Perhaps he would be receptive if I shared my discovery about him and prevent him from accusing Squibbie. I must find him at once. My best bet would be to try my luck at the pub.
Pub.
Ah, Holmes, I got your message, and here I am.
Perfect, Watson. That oaf Bluto is looking for us with evil intentions, and he may be hiding here. I will try to get more information inside. You, Watson, will be our lookout, and at the slightest suspicious sound, do not hesitate to call a constable on his rounds.
Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Bulling.
We know each other?
No. However, I have some information that may be of interest to you.
Talk, my friend. A pint for you if what you say is worth something. Does it have to do with the Whitechapel murders?
Indeed, I know the identity of the man who wrote a letter to the police, a letter entitled Dear Boss, in which the author claims to be the Whitechapel murderer and is signed Jack the Ripper.
What?
It's a journalist who is inspired by Spring Hill Jack in order to strengthen the credibility and the seriousness of his agency. This new Jack will give him some first-hand information that he, in turn, will dole out sparingly to the authorities, as well as some carefully distilled indiscretions that the big papers will come to beg of him. He plays both sides off against one another and becomes the chief orchestrator of the rumor. He wrote this letter in this very spot, and he has red ink on his fingers. Like you.
What exactly are you after, my friend?
You've been threatening a certain Squibbie to distribute a telegram naming him as a possible suspect in these murders in revenge for an old feud. I would suggest you don't write this note and that you leave Squibbie alone.
I'd forgotten about the existence of that rapscallion. I threw that at him when I was visiting the station to get the dope. You should have seen his face.
You must also stop sending these letters that waste the authorities' precious time.
Right, well, I don't even know what you're talking about. I have a great relationship with the bobbies. Just ask around. I don't have to answer to nobody. Now leave me alone.
Farewell, sir.
Good riddance.
Hey, you wouldn't be the gas man that Bluto's looking for.
Don't know him. No, if Bluto sees me...
Hey, girl.
Yes, sir.
Never mind.
I have nothing further.
Maybe I should...
I have nothing further to...
Let's hurry to the police station, Watson. We are close to our goal. Squibbie will be able to reveal what he knows about Tumblety. Squibbie, so that's it. You're a free man again. We were just coming to the station to find you.
Yeah, the bobbies agreed to let me go and I came to see Bluto before ferreting you out. So, you've seen the newspaper man?
Yes, he is in the pub and everything is taken care of, but I'm waiting to hear what you have to say about Dr. Tumblety.
Okay, but we have to be quick. One night, I goes to see Bluto in his hideout that ain't far from the boarding house where this Tumblety bloke has a room. I see him coming in too. He must have been on one real binge. To the point, the Tumblety fella was there, and he smiles at me, all nice like. He tells me he's a great Yankee doctor, but my business interests him. I'm interested, I tell him, but I'm not the type to just jump right in without getting to know a person, see? He invites me around to his room to talk business, just him and me. We empty a bottle or two, And all of a sudden, like, he wants to show me what he's got in this big trunk that he always carts around places. I just about vomited, see? In these jars, just like pickles, you know, there were pieces of meat. And he whispers that it's the lady bits of some old dames. He called them pecky-bins. I call them love killers, I would. Yeah. After that, he starts to go on about rich folk. They ain't nothing but dogs. And I won't tell you the worst of it. Then he comes all close to me and puts his sweaty hand on my leg. He was one of them types. Not me. I don't wait a second before I give him a good thrashing. And I start running and let go of him. And he still wants to see me again, just to talk business. But then I had to do time. So business.
Do you know where he can be found?
Why? Ain't he in his digs? Maybe he got to liking life behind bars too. I heard that in some jobs, there's a way to...
Thank you for your information, and we'll meet again, my friend. Here is the sum I promised to get you out of London.
Ciao, fella. I've just got a little score to settle with Bluto, and I'm heading for the country. Lipski!
My dear Watson, we must strike while the iron is hot. We have avoided meeting Dr. Tumblety until now. The time has come to do so.
Do you have an opinion, Holmes?
We must assure ourselves that the fact a collector of female organs and a murderer who removes said organs are resident in the same area at the same time is nothing more than coincidence.
I thought that you wouldn't bring me back your keys. Oh, it's you, Mr. Holmes. Good evening, Dr. Watson.
Indeed, it is I again. One of your tenants left without returning his keys?
Yes, it's Dr. Tumblety whom we spoke about. Shortly after your last visit here, some constables came and asked me a few questions regarding him. Barely had they left than the doctor came barreling around a street corner and rushed up into his room upstairs. A little while afterwards, while I was tidying, I heard a thud in his room and a rush down the stairs. He left with most of his bags, but without returning his keys. You can go up and see if you wish. The door is still open.
Oh.
Careful, Watson. Do not walk around here until I've inspected these marks.
I know, Holmes, I know. I understand your methods. Ah, you have your rule and magnifying glass. I thought that you had forgotten them, Holmes.
I never forget the essentials, my dear Watson. Right foot, light trails. The man was running. Right foot, light trail. Right foot, light... Size 13. Size 13. Right foot, light. Right foot, light. Right foot, light trail. I'm missing some information.
Okay.
Ah, you have your rule.
I never forget the essentials. This isn't water. Going by its sticky texture and odor, I'd say we're dealing with formalin. These are the footprints of a tall man who had recently stepped in formalin and who left this room in a hurry.
Well, can I walk on it and enter the room now, Holmes?
Dear Francis.
This Dr. Tumblety seems to be attracted to men more than women, that much is clear. So, the doctor has a handgun, and he would use it to restrain young men, perhaps.
So what, he's gay or something like that?
There are a few pieces of a large glass jar in this puddle. The man who left the footprints on the ground must have walked in it while fleeing.
Oh shit, this looks like a...
There are a few pieces of a large... Going by its size, this enormous trunk must be a wardrobe. These brackets are rather unusual. What do you think, Watson?
Let's see, Holmes. These are the names of the battles from the American Civil War.
Okay, so this front Sumter should be... this. $68. So next one is $62. Oh. Man, this is so hard. $63. Gettysburg was 63rd. 7 6 Okay, and the last one was
Elementary.
elementary. What? Oh, I knew it. I knew this was uterus or whatever. Some organ.
This is dreadful, Holmes. This trunk contains 4 jars in which organs are floating.
Watson, can you tell me at a glance what these organs are?
I would say that they are parts of female reproductive organs.
Are these specimens fresh?
No, and I am quite certain of it. From the colour and appearance, I'd say these organs have been in these jars for several months, if not years.
Let's go to Baker Street.
Is there someone here?
Yes.
What's going on, Finley? You seem to be in a panic.
The 2 police officers wanted to know if someone suspicious had entered here. The Whitechapel killer has struck again, and if I understood correctly, he killed 2 women in the past few hours.
Damn!
I don't know. The police didn't tell me anything.
Quick, Holmes, we must catch up with them.
Certainly not, Watson. Mr. Finley, do you know if the doctor had any other pieces of luggage up there apart from this trunk?
1 or 2, I think.
Do you take care of the doctor's laundry?
My wife does laundry for the tenants once a week. The sheets likewise.
Would you be kind enough to let us know as soon as possible if the doctor shows up again?
Certainly. I'm just worried that he won't be back, you see, and I'm annoyed about my keys.
Holmes, I don't follow. The Whitechapel killer is, at this very moment, very close by, and we are just staying put, twiddling our thumbs.
The Whitechapel killer has always been nearby, and what will we do? Go back to the scene of the crime or crimes and mix with the onlookers and trample the crime scenes even more? No, our time will come. Let's return to Baker Street.
Let's go back to Baker Street. Home, sweet home.
Home, sweet home.
We were less than 200 feet away from the first victim a few minutes before she was murdered. We might even have heard the murderer's voice, and we haven't done a thing for the past week.
You're the one not doing anything, Watson. For my part, I have been working, and as you know, I've made good use of this week by tracking down and verifying all of the solid facts on these two murders to write up the notes that are on my desk, read them over again and try to gain a bit of perspective.
I have read and reread them, but give me something to do then. A task where I can get stuck in, because
Find me a slaughterhouse that will give us exclusive use of its block for an hour, and find me, in your opinion, which common animal shares the most characteristics with humans from a physiological point of view.
Pig?
I don't even know why I asked that question. Pray, find a dozen fresh pig's heads, Watson. Not big heads, I prefer small ones.
Sows?
That's it, Watson. As soon as you have done that, let me know. I request that you search in Whitechapel. Who knows, perhaps you will learn something about where Dr. Tumblety may be hiding. There is also no shortage of slaughterhouses and pig's heads in those parts.
I think I liked the other Jack the Ripper game more than this one. But this one is good also. This one is harder.
What a ridiculous idea to have asked Holmes for something to do. Where on earth am I going to find what he wants? Perhaps that kind Lucy will be able to help me.
Maybe, let's see.
I must go to Miss Bella's.
You're kidding.
I must go to Miss Bella's. Good evening, Lucy. But is something wrong?
Good evening, Dr. Watson. Yes, it's my uncle. He's no longer with us.
Please accept my condolences, miss.
Thank you, Doctor. But why are you here? Can I help you?
My request may sound rather strange, but do you know if there is a butcher's or slaughterhouse in the area where pigs are killed?
Yes, Fletcher's the man. He was a regular client, owner of a little butcher's shop not far. But Miss Bella didn't want him to come, as long as he didn't treat his awful sickness.
Can you point to his shop on my map?
Certainly.
Do you know anything about the two latest murders?
Oh, goodness me, no. All the girls in the neighbourhood are terrified. Who will be next? That's what everyone is asking.
Goodbye, Lucy.
Until next time, perhaps, Doctor.
I have nothing to ask.
Dr. Watson,
Goodbye, Lucy.
until next...
Ah, there's Fletcher's butcher shop. Closed due to illness. If the proprietor is ill, the butcher's block is probably not being used. Perhaps I can use it. Now, where could a sick butcher have got to? If the proprietor is ill, the butcher's block is probably not being used. Perhaps I can use it. Now, where could a sick...
Maybe you know.
I have nothing to ask.
Great.
I have nothing to ask. Tell me, is it?
If it's to file a complaint, you should...
Fucking hell.
No, I must find Fletcher. If he is really unwell, he can't be here.
If he is unwell, he's at the clinic, man.
Yes, if Fletcher is ill, he should be here.
Logic.
Yes, if Fletcher is ill, he should be here.
Hello.
Good evening, Dr. Watson.
Good evening, Dr. Gibbons. I have come to see you because I was wondering if, by any chance, you happen to have a patient by the name of Fletcher, a butcher who would have relinquished his shop due to illness. An illness caught during nocturnal encounters, if you catch my drift.
Fletcher is one of the regulars at the clinic. Mercury treatment against syphilis. A night with Venus, a lifetime with Mercury. He left London a fortnight ago for the fresh country air. Why is he of interest to you?
Oh, no reason. I'm more interested in using his shop, only for an hour or so. Would he have left his keys with family in the area?
He has none left, but he must have left Hardiman, the cat's meat seller, to oversee his shop. They're in business, they're good friends.
Do you know where he can be found?
No, but wander around the neighbourhood and listen for his beep beeps. He often passes in front of the clinic. Besides, I don't know anything more, Doctor. I'm sorry.
It's me that you're looking for, sweetheart.
Actually, no. I am looking for the cat food seller, Hardiman.
Hardiman? Poor Hardiman? It isn't quitting time for him yet. That gives me some time to wander the streets before he shows up, and with him all the cats hereabouts.
Do you know where he lives?
Sure, and for a copper I might even tell you.
Here are a few coins.
You're too kind, Governor. Well, these days I knows that he lives with his mammy on Hanbury Street, in the same place where Dark Annie bled to death.
Why did you call him poor Hardiman?
Bah, he's in grieving, of course. Just a few weeks ago he lost his wife, and 3 months before that his girl, poor fella. He was in tatters, even came to cry on my shoulder, believe it or not.
Well, I must leave you. I must go to Hanbury Street. This is the building in which poor Annie Chapman was killed.
Beep beep.
Oh.
Beep beep.
Hello, are you Mr. Hardiman?
That's me.
I am Dr. Watson. I have come to see you about Fletcher's shop. I would like to use it for an hour or two, if you have the keys and your rates are reasonable.
Do you want to operate on someone in the butcher's?
Not at all. One of my friends needs it to prepare pig's heads.
Well, why not? Fletcher certainly wouldn't mind, but there's a problem.
A problem? How so?
This morning, the neighbour above broke his key in the door. The old boy must have already had a drink.
So?
Well, I tried my best to unjam it with Fletcher's spare key, which is pretty thin, and bam, that one broke too.
Hard luck. But if you have the end of the broken key, perhaps it can be fixed.
It must still be upstairs. I didn't pick it up. Fletcher has a key too, so I didn't think it was a problem. Fancy, if I just had another key with a simpler blade, I could copy it.
I'm great at odd jobs. Fine, I will try to find all of that. Well, see you later then. Goodbye, sir. I have no reason to go that way.
Wait a minute.
Oh, no. But what a... Ah, how dreadful.
Where can I find a key with a simpler blade? On a worthless door, perhaps.
What is this?
My word. These are innards.
Kebabs, the same as Hardiman's. So he prepares his meat here. This bag contains butcher's equipment.
Key? Okay, so maybe I should go to cobbler's shop so he can help me. Because I do not see any other...
Have you found everything I need to remake the key?
Obviously.
Have you found everything I need to remake the key?
Obviously not.
Why in the Lord's name would I go there?
Ty мене заєбаш.
I have no reason to go that way. This key was left inadvertently. Indeed, there is nothing terribly precious inside. But what a stench!
Basic key. Okay, is this enough or should I search more?
Have you found everything I need to remake the key? There you go. I think you'll manage with all of this. I'm sure I will, sir. It won't take me long. Say, I think there's some of your business upstairs. Oh, you're right. I ain't had the time to sort it out. Sometimes I'm in such a hurry to prepare my meat that I forget to clean up. But why do it in the stairwell? Offal bleeds bucket loads, they do, as you've seen. Now, why would I do that in my own lodgings? Ah, of course. But what about your poor neighbours? They owe it to me, all the times I've helped them out. And I don't have a shop either. Say, you sell animal meat, isn't that right? Would you know where I could find a dozen small pig's heads? The guy who gets me my offal should have some. I'll pay your day's wages if you meet me at Fletcher's butcher shop in 2 hours with the pig's heads. Here's a little advance. I'll do my best, Doctor. The caretaker of another building told us that the place where your mother lives has a reputation for facilitating prostitutes' activities. Is that true? Sure, the doors are never closed. They come through here like it's Paddington Station. By the way, I heard about your loss. My condolences. Tut, sir. I saw them die slow deaths. My little girl, her face was eaten by the disease. Thank you, my friend, and please forgive me for bringing up such painful memories. Go, I must do my rounds, and I will look for what you've asked for. As for me, I will go and find Holmes, and we will go to the butcher's together. Let's return to Fletcher's butcher shop. Your heads are on the block inside. Say, you wouldn't be the same chap who bought my whole load the other day.
It's possible, but if you want to continue to do business together, you mustn't speak of my presence in the area to anyone.
Don't worry, my lord. I'll be as quiet as a church mouse.
What?
Holmes, will you explain the reason and rhyme behind this masquerade?
Elementary. We shall conduct an experiment that will allow us to answer a simple question. Does the type of weapon used by the killer correspond to a specific profession? And here are our sow's heads. Congratulations, Watson.
You're welcome, Holmes, but what do you really want to do? Take up a collection?
And here are our sows.
You're welcome, Holmes, but what do you...
There is nothing further to find in this room, Watson. However, I need some knives. Our only hope is behind this door. This wheel is broken and prevents the door from sliding. I need something. This wheel is broken and... This wheel is broken and... This wheel is broken and prevents the door from sliding.
You're kidding.
I need something. I need something. There is nothing further to find. There, this door is slightly raised. There is nothing further to find in this room. This wheel is broken and prevents the door from sliding. Elementary. While I prepare our experiment, could you find me 2 knives? A small one, somewhat larger than a pocket knife, with a large, sharp blade. We'll need it to separate the bones and to cut through the thick skins. Then find me a long knife that's at least 13 inches long, no shorter, that's sharp and has a thick blade.
Fine, Holmes, but I'd like to tell you about Hardiman. Do you know that he prepares his kebabs himself and...
That he owns butcher's tools and uses offal? That's obvious, Watson. Pray, take my magnifying glass and my rule and get started, Watson. Find me these 2 knives.
This one and... Yes.
Here are the knives you asked for. Be careful, they're awfully sharp. Holmes, I must say that this experiment is making me rather uneasy. Comparing animal heads to these poor women.
You're right, Watson, but this somewhat shocking experiment may help to end this massacre and save other victims. You can be sure of that. Look, these pigs' heads are still bloody, which will suit our experiment perfectly. I have a pocket knife and a scalpel with me. With the 2 knives you just brought me, we have a similar array of weapons as those probably used by the killer. We saw 3 types of throat wounds on the deceased attributed to this man. Those intended to slit the throat, those intended to decapitate, and the more superficial yet mortal wound that led to the death of the unfortunate victim in Duckworth's yard, Miss Stride. With the help of these 4 knives, we are going to try to recreate these wounds on the pigs' heads and see what we can establish about the weapon or weapons used. We may also be able to rule out Miss Stride as a victim of the killer of the other 3.
Experiment. What the?
Let's try to use these weapons on this head to obtain a large deep wound to the throat, like those that were noted on 3 of the 4 victims. This little knife is very sharp and has a very wide blade. The wound is too shallow. This pocket knife is very sharp, but it's... Look, Watson, this knife easily penetrates the flesh. Let's try to use these weapons on this head. Let's try to decapitate our victim with these tools, knowing that the killer didn't quite manage to do it.
Charming.
Look, Watson, this little knife with a wide base can easily slice the vertebrae of our porcine friend. The blade of this pocket knife is... With a scalpel, the wound... This knife with a long blade easily slices...
Okay.
This knife with a long blade... Let's see if these knives can inflict a mortal wound in a situation where a single quick blow is given. The scenario in question is that of Dutfield's yard. Look, Watson, the blade sinks easily into the flesh. In using the cutting edge of this pocket knife's blade, I can scrape the skin. This particularly sharp blade can make a deep gash with one quick slice. It cuts through the flesh easily as the blade is so sharp.
Okay, so which one?
Look, Watson, the blade sinks easily. Look, Watson, the blade sinks It cuts through the flesh easily as the blade is... This particularly sharp blade can make a deep gash with one quick slice.
Okay, maybe this one. So this... How? Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
Let's try to decapitate our victim.
Charming.
Let's try to use these... This little knife is very sharp and... This pocket knife is very sharp. The wound is too shallow. Elementary. Let's try to decapitate our...
Charming.
The blade of this pocket knife is... With a scalpel, the wound is too shallow. This knife with a long blade... Look, Watson, this little knife... This knife with a long... The blade of this pocket knife is too thin to reach the vertebrae. With a scalpel, the wound... This knife with a long blade easily slices the flesh, but cannot dislocate the vertebrae. Look, Watson, this little knife with a wide base can easily slice the vertebrae of our porcine friend. This knife with a long blade. Look, Watson,
You're
this
gonna
little
be
knife.
fucking.
The blade of this pocket knife is. With a scalpel, the wound is.
Maybe this one.
The blade of this pocket knife is too thin to reach. Look, Watson, this little knife. This knife with a long. With a scalpel, the wound is too shallow. Look, Watson, this little knife. With a scalpel, the wound. Let's see if these knives can. Look, Watson, the blade sinks easily into the flesh. In using the cutting edge of this pocket knife's blade, I can scrape the skin. This particularly sharp blade can make a deep gap. It cuts through the flesh easily. Elementary. Let's try to decapitate our...
Experiment 2 then.
Elementary. That's it, Watson. The big knife. With respect to the opinion of the medical examiners who noted that a butcher's knife with a long blade would have caused the eviscerations on some of the victims, we can assume, Watson, that he only used this type of weapon as it is capable of inflicting all of the wounds displayed. Furthermore, the Dutfield's Yard murder remains attributable, for the moment, to the Whitechapel killer, if we are able to explain why the murderer used his knife in a different manner. Why not go there now? We will try to reenact the killer's actions that night. Our first objective will be to clarify, one way or another, the statements of Constable Smith, as well as this Hungarian by the name of Schwartz. We must also try to find out more about the International Working Men's Educational Club, underneath which the murder took place, perhaps at the Wasp's Nest.
Yes, let's go to Dutfield's Yard or wherever, but quickly. I am in urgent need of fresh air.
Let's go to the Wasp's Nest. Don't forget that Bluto may still be hiding here. I will try to find out more inside. You, Watson, must intercept the policeman on his rounds. Given the hour and a bit of luck, it will be Smith. Try to get some information from him.
Understood, Holmes.
Hello.
I know you. You're Squibby's guardian angel. You weren't dressed the same last time, but I don't forget a face. No hard feelings, huh? Join me in a glass?
Your Jack the Ripper is on everyone's lips and written in all of the papers. You must be awfully proud of yourself. You have skill, that's for certain. It's a shame you use it to mask rather than discover the truth.
You better believe that I'm going to find out who it is. I got a hold of old Schwartz's interpreter. You know, the Hungarian who saw Liz Stride get it. Doesn't speak a word of English. And when he went round to the station, another Jew went along to interpret. I found that bloke, and he repeated everything that had been said at the station. It won't be long before I find these fellows.
Why do you say these fellows? Were there several of them?
Do you not read the papers, or what? Well, given the rubbish that you read sometimes. Let me explain. At 12:45 a.m., Schwartz goes down Burner Street towards Fairclough, on the side of the road where the Workers' Club is. A bit further from there, just near Dutfield Yard's wooden doors, a chap and a lady are arguing. The Star said that the bloke wanted to push the girl into Dutfield's yard, but the translator told me that Schwartz saw him pulling her towards the road. She doesn't want to follow. He grabs her by the shoulders and throws her to the ground. She falls a bit, not too loudly. Old Schwartz is scared, crosses to the other side, but continues in the same direction. The bloke with the girl notices him and yells, "Lipsky!" At the same time, another bloke at the corner of Fairclough and Burner who was lighting his pipe gets in on the action.
He starts coming towards Schwartz in a menacing way, and Schwartz takes to his heels, doesn't see anything else. Once he finds out that a woman got herself killed, he went to testify and identified Longley's Stride as the woman he saw getting thrown about. So there were definitely two blokes, mate. But why am I telling you all this?
In vino veritas. I'll take my leave then, Mr. Bulling.
That's right. Till next time.
A draft, my good man.
Here, sir.
Tell me, was it not a mere stone's throw away from here that the Whitechapel killer struck last week?
That'd be Jack the Ripper, that's his name. Slit the throat of a working girl in a small courtyard over there behind them big wooden doors.
Below the Workers' Club?
The very spot, below Lipsky and Co. I wouldn't be surprised if Jack was one of them, if you catch my drift.
Lipsky and Company. Do you mean to say that someone called Lipsky runs this club?
Nah, it's just that it's full of Jews. In Whitechapel, we call them all Lipskys, like that Lipsky who killed that girl in Batty Street last year.
Oh, really?
Last year, a Jew named Israel Lipsky killed a lass who was 6 months pregnant while making her drink acid. One trial and one protest by rabbis later, and he was hanging. By those who don't much like him, the Jews are called Lipskys.
Is the term Lipskys used to refer to the Jews in the area, and is this club frequented by Jews?
You got it. Socialist Jews even. They spend their evenings hollering, singing. I've seen them spitting on the bosses.
And you know the victim?
No more her than any other. The working girls don't drum up business too much in this street. They need a reason to end up here.
Very well. Goodbye.
Cheers.
First and foremost, I must find P.C. Smith. Good evening, Constable.
Good evening, sir.
I am Dr. Watson. Would you happen to be P.C. Smith, the man who patrols this beat?
That's me. And you work with the famous Sherlock Holmes, don't you? What can I do for you?
I believe you were on duty the night when the murder took place here. You would certainly be able to confirm a few details, such as the time of death that the medical examiner gave.
It's just that I wasn't there when the body was discovered. I don't think I can help you.
But I was told that you had seen the victim that very night.
Indeed, but it was before the murder. I saw her, not far from here. She was talking to a man. It was around 12:30 or 12:35 a.m.
What did this man look like?
I only saw him from behind, really. He was wearing a short black outfit, a small felt hat, a cap in a dark colour, and a white collar. He seemed to be a respectable type. He was carrying a packet in his hand, wrapped in newspaper, about 18 inches long and about 6 inches wide.
His outfit reminds me of someone that I know. Was he a large man, on the older side?
I don't think so, no. Even though I only saw him from behind, I would say that he was barely 30 years old, or even less. Say 28, or even less. 26 years old, and 5 foot 8 inches tall at the very most. He had a small dark brown moustache and an olive complexion, I'd say, but once again, I only caught a brief glimpse of his face in three-quarter profile.
Nobody else saw this man?
I discussed this previously with Mr. Eagle, the president of the Workers' Club. That night he returned around 12:40 a.m. to the club. He used the passage through Dutfield's yard to get into the club because the main door was locked. He can attest that he didn't see anyone else in the passage at that time, but wasn't really paying attention to who else might have been in Burner Street itself. He was listening to the song coming from the club. In short, no one else saw him.
Well, thank you for having satisfied my curiosity, my friend.
A fine evening to you, Doctor.
Well, Watson, let's go to Dutfield's yard.
Where is that?
I haven't... I have no reason to go that
Wait
way.
a minute.
I have no reason to go that way.
I think I know.
The Whitechapel Church. The clock is wrong. I have no reason to go that way.
Damn you.
I have no reason to go that way. I have no reason to go that way. I have nothing to ask. I have no reason to go that way.
Oh, wait.
Dutfield's Yard.
Damn.
Your interrogation of P.C. Smith has proven to be very shrewd and of great interest. Thanks to the information I've managed to gather and that you were able to read in my notes in Baker Street, Watson, we can recreate what happened that fateful night at this location, Dutfield's Yards to be precise, the site of Liz Stride's murder. At 12:43 a.m., Israel Swartz passes by Dutfield's Yard and witnesses the attack on Liz Stride. 12:40 a.m., Eagle, the president of the club, enters the Workers' Club via the passageway through Dutfield's Yard. He passed through Dutfield's Yard. If Liz Stride had already been killed, he would have had to walk over her. The murder, therefore, had not yet happened. 12:30 to 12:35 a.m., Smith notices Liz Stride talking to the man with the package. 12:20 a.m., the American leaves the Socialists' Club for some fresh air. The street is deserted. Midnight, the Socialist Club meeting ends. The members, mainly Jewish men, gradually begin to leave the club in little groups or alone. 12:44 a.m. Schwartz crosses to the other side of the road. The attacker sees him and yells, Lipsky. The attacker must have shouted to his accomplice at the end of the road, Lipsky, indicating at Schwartz using his head in an attempt to scare off this undesirable. 12:45 a.m., Schwartz runs away, followed for a short distance by this man. 1 a.m., Mr. Diemschutz wants to enter with his cars, but the pony refuses. We know that the murder took place between 12:45 and 1 a.m. Mr. Diemschutz, therefore, must have disturbed the killer. Let's place Liz Stride's murder on the timeline, Watson. (12:45 to 1 a.m., the murder of Liz Stride. It took place in this very spot, as the traces of blood were very confined. We will come back to this point in a few moments to elaborate on what could have happened. Well, we are still missing certain information in order to finish this investigation, Watson.
Oh.
Watson, imagine the victim laid down there on the ground. Her right hand, it is bloody, as is her wrist. Her left hand, it is closed. The throat, there is but one clean cut, slightly slanted downwards. The ground is muddy. The ground is muddy. Her right hand, the throat, there is but the throat, there is. Her knees and dress, they are clean.
Deduction.
We have two possibilities. The first is that Liz Stride's killer and the attacker, seen by Schwartz, were one and the same man. The second is that Liz Stride meets a client. After some discussion, they head towards Dutfield's yard to do their business. As soon as they arrive, the attacker appears while his accomplice keeps watch. Schwartz's arrival dissuades the two men from lingering. They leave the area and leave Liz Stride in a tense state, but glad to have kept her client. He will be her murderer. Both hypotheses are possible, but an incongruous detail will serve to corroborate one of them. An incongruous detail that we were able to establish regarding the Hanbury Street murder. Which one would that be, Watson? Look at the victim carefully, Watson, and tell me the link between the murder of Liz Stride and those of Nichols and Chapman. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. No, that's not it.
The bag of pastels, Holmes?
The bag of pastels. Indeed, Watson. If this woman had to defend herself against an attacker, why would she have held onto this bag in her hand? It didn't fall because this woman's hand tensed at the moment when she fell to the ground. Therefore, Watson, we know the killer distracted his victim's attention by making them take something out of their pockets. Why didn't he slit her throat like the others? He must have feared a struggle with a strong-willed woman. Why didn't he eviscerate her? Because Louis Diemschutz arrived.
Do you think the Whitechapel killer is behind this murder, Holmes?
Yes, and now this murder has been linked to its rightful perpetrator, it will take on deeper meaning when we have examined the facts from that night. Let's go to Mitre Square, where Catherine Eddowes was killed. And make haste, Watson, as we have another murder to commit in 40 minutes. Here we are, Watson, Mitre Square. It took us a mere 20 minutes to get here. If the killer left Dutfield's yard around 1 o'clock, as we assume, he would have arrived here at around 1:20 a.m. We know that Catherine Edow's body was discovered at 1:44 a.m. Catherine was released from prison around 1 o'clock, but we have no information as to what she could have been doing until her death. This place has 3 possible ways out. Let's see where they lead. As a precaution, I brought an old map of the area with me. It will help us get our bearings.
Let's hurry, Holmes. This neighborhood makes me ill at ease.
Okay guys, I'm gonna finish this part here. See you soon.